Hello, everyone. Welcome to Transformation Tuesday. So good to be here with you. And today is a very special Transformation Tuesday because I have my good friend, longtime member of our Toltec community and dear sister in the healing arts world, Karin Beviere, with me today. Welcome, Karin.
Oh, thank you so much, Liz. That's very sweet to hear you say that. And thank you for inviting me. This is our second spin at interviewing together, and I'm really glad to be here with you. I wish I was actually there with you like last time,
Right.
at least together.
Yes, that was so cool to have you here last time. And we'll do that again. And for now, you're coming in from Salt Spring Island, British Columbia. And I am here in my home in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So let me tell you a little bit about Karin. Karin's intent is to bring the best of traditional and modern energetic therapies to help people empower and heal themselves in alignment with nature. I love that so much. Karin has practiced homeopathic medicine for well over a decade before becoming registered as a Chinese medicine practitioner. And Karin uses acupuncture, East Asian herbs, cupping, homeopathics, and lifestyle rituals to gently nudge the body towards a greater expression of health. Karin also has advanced training in cosmetic acupuncture, emotional trauma, and psychological safety. And Karin also spent 10 years as an apprentice of Toltec shamanism in the lineage of Don Miguel Ruiz with me and my co-teacher, Gloria Valencia. Yes. So welcome again, Karin. And we have certainly walked a beautiful path together over all these years. And I'd like to ask you, what was your defining moment in your life that led you to pursue a career in wellness and health and personal development?
Mm. Yeah, that's a good question. Obviously, well, not obviously, because some people know what they want to do the minute they're aware, right? Um, and that was definitely not the case for me. It was a very circuitous path of stubbornly following my interests, but also being practical at the same time. Um, and I certainly had no inclination to be part of the wellness. Well, I didn't even know what wellness was. I mean, I was pretty entrenched in the medical system most of my childhood. Because I had a lot of surgery to deal with with a genetic condition that I still have, um, and it involved a lot of cosmetic surgery on my face. Every year, probably from age 5 to 19, I had an
Mm, mhm.
um, and it was like a lot of disappointments and not quite working the way it was supposed to. And that's okay, we'll try again. And so I had no interest in hospitals and doctors and uh, nurses and all of that. And I had no exposure to any other kind of medicine except maybe acupuncture. And as a teenager, once they get needles stuck into you, yeah, it was like, oh, yeah, interesting, but not, I didn't understand it at all. So I just kind of followed my interests, which were studying how other cultures live, understanding other cultures, differences and similarities. And my family was a mix of German and French, and we lived in Canada, and it was it was always an interest, and I ended up in anthropology. I took one course along the way called medical anthropology, and I thought, oh, that's really interesting, but didn't pursue that and end up in like the corporate world as a communications person in the environment department because I was quite involved in the environmental movement, um, environmental issues and activism, and that's where I thought my path was. all the while still reading about health to deal with my own chronic menstrual pain that was perpetual. Um, and I came across a book, an anthropology book again, and it talked about homeopathy. And that was the first time that I had been exposed to looking at symptoms in a way that also took into account the mind and the heart and the emotions. And so, were you a person with menstrual cramps who was like crying and like set off by anything, sensitive and eating ice cream? That was one picture. Or were you like really angry and curled up in a ball? I was like, wow, I just had never heard of anything like that before. And I found it completely fascinating. And so then I started to learn more about homeopathy and reading how it came about and how it could be used for like any kind of problem, from an acute problem to a chronic problem, and how much the mind plays a role in the selection of the medicine.
Yeah.
That's what got me. And so I'm in my corporate job, trying to save the earth, and it's not going that well. Uh, it wasn't my environment. And what I could see now that I had this new lens to look through is, well, there the politics of the office is really taking away from, the mission, and we're one little department trying to do something, but we have to, we're at conflict with other departments, and how much is this our own pathology, our own um our own mental mind symptoms, unconsciously, I didn't have that word at the time, but unconsciously affecting the way we work, the way we make decisions, the way the projects go, the way we acquiesce or push, or, and I that's when I took a sidestep where I felt like, you know, yes, we have to mitigate the damage we're doing, find better solutions, do all that. But we have
Hmm.
to look at ourselves and
Right.
heal ourselves and come from a healthy, functional place. Of course, I didn't even know what these things were at the time when I'm having this insight, but something fell off. And
Yeah.
that, how are we going to heal or repair or create some good if we're coming from a diseased place ourselves.
And a separate place,
Separate.
right? A very separate place. Yes. And, this would be a good time, Karen, for those that don't know. And I did not know until, a few years ago I learned, and probably from you. Can you explain briefly what homeopathy is? How does it work? Yeah.
So homeopathy is a form of natural medicine. It was developed in Germany, like 275 years ago, around that. And what makes it unique from something like herbalism is that it takes the medicines of herbalism, like plants and roots and all of those things, but as well as minerals, and it prepares them in a different way. So instead of just making a tincture or a tea or a pill and consuming that, what's done is that the substance is diluted, and it's diluted to a point where you could not find the substance in it anymore if you were to do a chemical analysis. And so what's happening is that the substance has been imprinted on the water that it's been made in, and so it's an energetic medicine. You're getting
Uh-huh.
resonance of the substance as opposed to the actual physical substance. And the benefit of that is that some of these substances that we use in herbalism can have less side effects They can be healing, but then they cause stomach aches, or there's
Yeah.
they're poisons almost, like, and in homeopathy we can use substances that would be considered poisonous, but they're rendered safe because of this dilution process. And so that's one aspect of homeopathy. And the other aspect is that there's no one medicine for a condition. It's very individualized because of all the mind symptoms and the emotional symptoms and the unique symptoms that you bring to the picture. So we don't, if you have a frontal headache, there could be like several different remedies that would help a frontal headache depending on the rest of the presentations.
Yeah. And so, what I'm hearing you describe is, this was the beginning for you in discovering, what holistic is, that we are more than one system, physical system, which is allopathic medicine often. I really love what you say, that it's an energetic imprint. Is that what you said?
Mhm.
That really resonates.
Mhm.
And and how that is so powerful that it can heal a person's, or begin to heal someone's ailment, but along with what's going on with them mentally and spiritually and emotionally. Yeah, beautiful.
Absolutely. And that's the first sign of the healing, is that maybe the symptom is still there, but there's like a lifting, that happens.
Yeah,
And a person starts to feel more energy or more inspiration or um, more positivity. And
yeah,
okay, that's a good sign. Let's just keep going here and
yes.
go with the flow.
Yeah. And so now I am curious about how your practicing homeopathy led you to traditional Chinese medicine, which is what you're doing now and have been doing for the last how is it 3 years you became registered 3 years ago?
3 years ago now.
Yeah. So how did how did you weave your way into traditional Chinese medicine from homeopathy?
Well, that was a long, slow process. Well, like I said, I'd had been exposed to it as a teenager. My dad's friend was an acupuncturist, and so we had some sessions. And my parents were really into trying different things. They were into cupping. We had a cupping set at home, and Sunday mornings we'd have brunch in the bed all together, and then do cupping on it.
I love that.
That was really different. um, yeah, so okay, so this was always interesting to me. So a homeopathic, like we said, affects the mind and the physical, and it'll affect all different parts of the body. One remedy is not like located to one issue. So there'd be remedies that would be like all left-sided, or maybe it would be the inner arm, and maybe, okay, so a wrist pain, inner wrist pain with like heart palpitations or something. It's like, well, how do you make sense of that? Why it's seemingly disparate symptoms, all can be cured by one remedy. And the answer is in the channels, in the acupuncture channels. The channels are what connect all these symptoms. And how can I explain that? So we have multiple channels in the body, yeah,
Hmm.
Chinese medicine perspective. And what these are kind of empty spaces that connect the different areas. And I think now, from an allopathic or Western medicine point of view, the fascia is really the channels are in the fascia. So we're finding out more about that.
Yeah.
So channels will run from the tip of your finger to the top of your head, or to your arm, or it'll run from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. And so it's almost the geography of the channels that can explain these different disparate symptoms. But that's just one piece. I mean, I'd love to just stop working and study this and write a book about it and really try and understand what is the connection between homeopathy and Chinese medicine. There's not that many of us who practice both. It's a little bit
Hmm.
a unique situation. Um, but I came to acupuncture because I got to a place in my homeopathy career where I was like, I want to learn more, and it's time to do more studies, time to like go deeper. And how do I want to do that? And at that time, I had a hand injury, and I ended up getting covered for quite a few acupuncture benefits, and so I took advantage of that. And over 12 weeks, this pretty severe uh, carpal tunnel syndrome and tendonitis in my hands was cured, as well as the knee injury that I would always get every spring when I'd ride my bike, and my menstrual
Wow.
cramps, and all these things were helped at the same time. And my practitioner was so lovely and so encouraging, and you feel so good after an acupuncture session. It's not only are you getting better, but you just feel great. And so it really piqued my interest, and I ended up just going for it and studying the 5-year Chinese medicine degree after that.
Yes, and I'm so glad you did, and I know many other people are too, because your stellar reputation it follows you for sure, Karen. And okay, I just want to say, folks, we heard it. Karen planted a little seed that she would like to study and perhaps write a book about the connection between homeopathy and traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture. Yeah,
Mm,
and you've experienced it
mhm,
through your own personal life, and as you mentioned, and as a young child, the surgeries that you went through all the way through your teen years, and then your exposure to alternative kinds of treatments. And so I say you're the perfect person to write that book.
mm,
Yeah, so good. What daily habits or rituals do you do to maintain your good health,
mm.
Karen?
Yeah, well, those change, hey, as we go along. It's always a dynamic process. Um, at the stage of life we're in, but also the season that we're in too, that certain rituals are appropriate at certain times of the year. Right now, because of my age, which is early 50s, and being in menopause, I am really trying to preserve my yin, as they say.
Hmm.
As we get older, our yin declines, and it's harder to build back up. It's not an easy thing because it's it's the slow, quiet, deep part of life, you know,
Hmm.
to the active, busy, accomplishing part of life, which you have some energy and you go, right? But to conserve energy and not waste energy, um, is harder to do, especially in our society, and like the struggle to survive, and just like there's just so much stimulation, right? There's so many things to do, so many choices, and um, yeah. So, but the problem is if we're expending so much energy and sacrificing our yin, then our health, well, my health, certainly has been challenged by that with poor sleep, or there was a period of little hot flashes and that kind of thing, night sweats. So now what I try and do is really like recognize rest, the importance of rest, and I
Hmm.
really had to point that out to me. Like, I was like, rest, nap, like what? And now I see how I do so much better if I incorporate more rest into my day, so I'm not going so hard. And so that's new for me. And then the same part of preserving yin. I mean, I'm sharing a little more detail here because like there's so many women who are in this position.
Yes. Hmm.
Um, yin is like it's fluids. It's our blood, it's our fluids, and our lymph and all of that. So supporting my fluids through my diet, right, is like eating foods that are gonna not overstimulate me, um, or dry me out or overheat me. You know, it's like really trying to cool down and hydrate. And so really incorporating a lot more wet food in my life, which is also a newer thing for me where, I love me a good fried foods. Like I was just raised on not deep fried, but like get the frying pan out and make something. And now it's more no getting to befriend my instant pot and stew something. And
Okay. So that's what you mean by wet food, like
yeah,
more stewy, soupy, brothy kinds of foods. Yeah. Okay.
and if you're having, or even at a bare minimum, having a soup, with your meal, a little soup to start, which is very French. This is how I grew up. I mean, I thank my mom all the time, like, thanks for feeding me the way you did. We had a very traditional French countryside diet where you start with a soup and yeah, very balanced whole foods. And I think that's been a foundation for me is like if you don't
Yeah.
and the ingredients and the box. Like, don't even buy the box. Like, really eat food that we recognize and that's whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciate what you're bringing in about your culture,
Mm,
Karen, and what you talked about earlier. I was born and raised in BC, and we have fantastic seafood and a lot of fresh vegetables and fruits, as you're well aware. And then also, as a very young person, I was so interested in food from other cultures. And coming from the West Coast, I had the opportunity because it's a very diverse population, especially in the city in Vancouver. And so, yeah, interested in how other cultures, what they eat, how they eat, their spices, all the things that are incorporated. Yeah, into nutrition in different countries. It's fascinating and
mm,
delicious and so delicious.
yeah.
Yeah. How
Mm,
how how do you continue to evolve and grow personally? Just in what you were just saying about being in your early 50s and menopausal time. And I know for myself, I'm a little bit older than that, and my level of energy has shifted for sure. And yes, more rest and more breaks through the day. I used to be able to just go 12 hours. And now I don't do that because I don't feel good if I do that. I take little breaks. And so what inspires you to keep growing personally and also in the healing work that you do and also take care of yourself?
mm. I'd have to say my patience would be the primary inspiration
Yeah.
to keep learning and keep growing and um keep evolving. Um Mostly, out of a place of compassion that I want them to feel as good as they can and to get well, right? And if I don't have the solution, I want to help them find a solution. And that's a path of study. Like medicine is studying. Really, it's always learning. It's always growing. And then because Chinese medicine it is so vast. It's it encompasses the whole universe, really. It's not a simple medicine to learn. None, no medicine is really because the body is so complex and humans are so complex and there's so much that can go wrong. But medicine is not just the body, right? It's the environment that you're in, it's the people you're around, it's your interconnections with nature, it's how you move your body, what you put in your body, some of the things we talked about, right? Like the quiet, the meditation, um, all of these things are part of wellness. And, Chinese medicine has been kind of stripped down to this term called traditional Chinese medicine, which really was a kind of newer development from the 50s, where in China they wanted to appear more modern and have a system that was more palatable to Western medicine. Uh,
Okay.
and it's very good. It's very good, but it removed a lot of the old medicine, and I'm fascinated by that. I think it's funny that I studied classical homeopathy, which is also the kind of pure homeopathy that
Mhm.
take shortcuts. And then now I'm interested in classical acupuncture, which also again is the ancient tradition. And so yeah, that's what inspires me is my patients to continually do better. And when we're in a treatment room together, I recognize, you know, they're co-regulating with me. We have so many more terms now, right? Because of the nervous system, neuroscience work that's come out. But yeah, so to this new term is like co-regulating. So if I'm not, calm and regulated and healthy, right, then
Yeah.
well, it's better for both of us, right? If it's better for the whole collective, if we're all working on ourselves and growing, and it affects everyone around us. And so, yeah, that's what inspires me is to do my best and to help my patients and to reap the benefits of that too.
Mm.
Like to when you devote that time to developing yourself, understanding yourself, or you know, taking care of this animal, right? This is we reap the benefits of that by feeling good and feeling happy.
Yes, I love that so much, Karen. And you talk about compassion, compassion for self, and that reflects out, right? Yes, to your patients, to the people that you work with. And also, we've walked a spiritual path together for many, many years, and I know it's not exclusive to our 12 step path, but practicing compassion and service, offering out our services, and we're hearing so much about this in the last decade of to step up. And I'm going to say, especially as female identified humans, to step up and offer your gifts. And as you are doing so impeccably in your work, Karen, and in your life, and to be that service and to offer compassion and the gifts that we have to each other. Yeah, so powerful. And we do reap the benefits. Of course we do. Because again, we're not separate. We're part of each other's experience globally and certainly in the treatment room as well. And then bringing in that piece of it's not to point of depletion. It's not going for that 12-hour day. It's taking care of ourselves so that we are able, we are well and healthy to be able to offer out our services, yeah, to each other. Yeah, really beautiful. So I would like to ask you, as we're going through our time here, how do you envision the future of healthcare, and what role do you see yourself playing? I mean, we're seeing this a lot in our different countries. You're in Canada, I'm in the U.S., and so Western medicine, allopathic medicine, yes. And then how do you see the future of of more of alternative medicine, of the more traditional, as you talk about the traditional homeopathy, traditional Chinese medicine? Where are we going? Where are we going with healthcare?
It's a
Where-
good question.
Yeah, yeah, it's a one we ponder, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
you see as a practitioner?
Oh, wow. I mean, I came across an interesting AI app um, recently this week where you could like stick out your tongue, which is a diagnostic tool in Chinese medicine. It reveals so much about the state of the body. And the AI would read your tongue and then tell you what supplements you needed, and then just conveniently hop you over to the shop where you could buy them and get them sent to your house, right? And it's like, wow.
Really?
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, right? I mean, how that was
It
free.
is.
That was,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you pay for the supplements if you follow through, right? So, which is, I don't, I mean, the whole AI thing is fascinating. I'm just in my little corner here trying to hold up tradition, hold up the uh, the incredible wisdom of in-person um, real person listening and holding space and creating conditions for health to happen. So I think there's going to be a lot of new tools. Um, some of them probably pretty amazing. And if we can, take the good and leave the bad, if we can have the ethical fortitude and moral compass to know what is the good and what is the bad, that's going to be a big role, I think, I hope. Um, and, let's, I have an incredible technology that's like very thin metal wire-like needles. It's an incredibly advanced technology, and my goal is to just like preserve that and help keep that knowledge alive in the swirl, the very young energy of advancement and progress. And like I kind of hinted at, is I think so much of healing has to do with listening and making space and knowing yourself. And a lot of this technology is quite isolating if you're doing it all by yourself. So
Yeah.
I think it's important that we have support and make space for that. And yeah, the younger generation is craving that. They're craving it.
Yeah.
They're so wise. Like, what is this empty technology? We deserve more than this. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a huge question. We could talk all day on that, right? I'm not really sure, but I think that it goes hand in hand. Like I kind of say tik and chang, tik and chang, tongue in cheek. I offer the best of modern and modern and traditional energetic medicine, because I think
Mm.
energetic medicine is homeopathy.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Traditional is the acupuncture and the herbs. And so I'm just going to keep presenting that and sharing that as long as people want to hear about it, and
Yeah.
because the benefits are so great to the system and to the family and to the community.
Yeah. I like so much of what you're saying. And, as older, we're a little bit older now. And I know for myself and the work that I do, the shamanism that I've been teaching for all these years, to pass on those traditional pieces and keep them alive. That's, I feel like that's part of our, I'm going to bring you in here, Karen. That's part of our responsibility as practitioners, teachers of whatever healing art that we're in, is to keep those traditional medicines and therapies alive. Yeah,
Mhm,
and pass them on.
mhm,
Yeah, and I love what you said, that yeah, us humans, no matter what age you are, and no matter, how much technology we have and all the things that are happening, we as humans deserve that personal connection. And not only deserve it, we need it. We need it. Yeah. Yeah. So what's one actionable step you could offer out to our listeners, starting right now, to improve health and happiness, because they go together. When we feel healthy, we feel happy. I mean, you said when you after an acupuncture treatment, you feel so good. And I've heard that so many times, myself included. I've been receiving acupuncture since I was a teenager. And yeah, and feel so good when I leave my doctor of Chinese medicine. So what would you offer out? What's a step? What's something people can do today?
mhm, mhm. Well, we have talked about physical things and more spiritual things too, that you can do, many levels to tackle, and so um well, we're coming in the northern hemisphere. We're kind of coming towards the tail end of late summer, we call it in Chinese medicine. It's not just summer, but late summer. And And this is a time where you're kind of coming down from the high of, the hot days, long days, and joy of summer and being outside, and then heading into, well, here it's rain and cold and damp, and um, a change is happening. And so late summer is a time to kind of take stock, in our society. It's like 1st of September, start school, start new habits, and
Right.
but have you taken the time to digest what happened in the summer before you go into the fall? And by digestion, the organs of late summer, every season has some sort of organs that are kind of primary of importance, and the digestive organs are the most important organs in late summer to tend to. So our stomach and our spleen, our pancreas, and so maybe just taking stock. We have a lot of ice cream this summer and, all the treats. Okay, well, maybe we can give our digestion a little break here and just up some cooked foods and wet foods if you're in my situation, and just treating the digestion a little bit more gently. And the kind of the value of this time too in digestion is compassion. And so can we have compassion as well for what just happened, so that we can, it's a form of digestion, right? Digestion of experience is like, it's not just judging harshly, that was bad, that was good, I need to change this. It's more like, okay, this is what happened. This is I did my best with what I knew at the time. And also recognizing the abundance of that time. We see it in the market, right, with all the food. Um, and can we practice gratitude for the abundance that we did receive, and really ground these things in?
Mm.
We go into the autumn, which is really in Chinese medicine a season associated with loss and sadness. And so you're
Mm.
almost preparing yourself for that. So it's not such a thud, when you get there, or it's transitioning. So just going from summer to fall, um, and busy, 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 like just take some time. Thanksgiving lands in this time for a good reason. It's
Yes.
taking stock and digesting, and and getting to know yourself a bit more, how
Yeah.
that experience was for you. What did you learn about yourself? And then by learning more about yourself, you're going to know what you need, and only you can know exactly what you need, or your support person who you work with can help guide you. But learning to listen to your own self is crucial, and I feel like that can really happen well in nature, and
Yeah. Yeah.
to support that self-awareness process. So whatever piece of nature you have around you, whether you have the luxury of a forest like I do, or whether there's or the sky out your window, whatever it is, can you connect with that, and be in this energy of late summer? What do you need to do next? Is it something your body needs? Is it something your heart needs? Is it something your mind needs? Yeah, you'll know.
It's a beautiful answer, Karen. You brought excuse me, whatever that was for you. You know, maybe it was a bunch of ice cream. Maybe you know, it was a camping trip. Maybe it was, you know, staying home and planting the garden. Whatever it was, to be grateful. Keep that gratitude loop going.
Mhm.
Yeah, really love it so much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And I know that you have a little offering for the folks that are listening. You like to, we'll wrap up with you a little about what we would like to offer the listeners from our interview today.
I'm always available for, a 15-minute discussion on feel free to go to my website. It's karinbeviere.ca. I'm sure Liz will put it up on there.
I
And
will.
and reach out, send me an email or DM me on social media. That's fine. And we can arrange a time and we can chat for 15 minutes. And if you're needing some suggestion on how to address your health or your wellness, I'm happy to lend an ear and give some suggestions.
So great.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen, for that offering. And thank you so much for being here. I love our interviews. I always learn from you.
I love it too. Thank you so much. This is really, really enjoyable for me. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. And you're so welcome. And thanks everybody for joining Transformation Tuesday with me, Liz Forrest. And I will see you next week. And it will be a live next week instead of a recording. Hopefully, our tech will cooperate with us. And so enjoy your day and take yourself out in nature, have a conversation with nature, and take the best care of yourself. I'll see you soon. All my love.
Bye.